What comes to your mind when I say Rings of Power, Amazon, TV show, Season 3? Early reports are hinting the show is actually going to jump years into the future and put us right in, or drop us right in, to the height of the War of the Elves and Sauron. That means huge battles, stakes, all kinds of things. Sources are even teasing that we'll see the forging of the One Ring as Sauron finally gathers all of the other rings. But of course, this TV show has not gone without conflict. There are a lot of people that are in the Lord of the Rings community that aren't fans of it. Well, today, we're going to jump into everything involved in Rings of Power Season 3. And by the end of this video, I'm going to figure out if my community is on board with this story or if you aren't. Me personally, there's been a lot of slow, methodical build up to it, but there is a lot of lore here that I finally get to see on the screen, which I am happy about. I know there's been things that have changed, like Gandalf's origin story, but it's a lot to unpack. But today we're going to go over all the leaks, the rumors, everything we know, confirmed, and how they could actually turn Season 3 around. Because when we first found out we were getting the Rings of the Power story, everybody was excited. If you are a Lord of the Rings fan, you were ready for this because we were going to get to dive into Middle-earth and see how it actually all happened. But as we went on, of course, the community got divided, and here we sit. But I have found out one thing. I have a huge Lord of the Rings community here on the channel. When we talk about the hunt for Gollum, you guys come to the table in a huge, huge way. So if you want me to continue to cover Middle-earth in its entirety, definitely let me know. Drop a like, and remember, I read every single comment on every single video. There's even speculation going out there. One example is rumor sites claim that Jamie Campbell Bower, the Dark Wizard from Season 2, is actually going to be playing a major elf, possibly Celeborn, in Season 3. I'm going to break down everything. The official news, the credible leaks, even some fun fan theories. But first, imagine Sauron bent over Mount Doom pouring molten gold and elves drawing their swords. I mean, if they do this how they should, and I know the cliffhanger at the end of Season 2, don't get me started on that, but this could be the most action-packed season yet. This has to be the most action-packed season yet. And of course, it is happening. Amazon officially renewed Rings of Power well before Season 2 even aired. And production is underway as we speak, and according to Prime sources, filming began in mid-2025. Reports say around June or July in studios around London, and they were doing some work in New Zealand, which we also know is where Hunt for Gollum is actually happening and being filmed at some of the OG places, which is really cool. We've seen behind-the-scenes clip. We saw the orc makeup time-lapse on Amazon social media, and casting announcements list the main heroes returning. We've got Galadriel coming back. We've got Charlie Vickers as Sauron. We've got Robert Aramayo as Elrond, Daniel Wyman as Gandalf. We don't have to call him the Stranger anymore. Spoiler alert if you didn't watch Season 2. They will all be back. New names include Andrew Richardson, Zubin Varya, and Adam Young in reoccurring roles, though we don't exactly know who they're going to be playing yet. I mean, notably, Jamie Campbell Bower and Eddie Marsan have undisclosed Season 3 roles. So those rumors about Bower's mysterious elf character, they're out there. Now, timing-wise, it looks like Rings of Power Season 3 is going to follow a similar schedule as past seasons. So filming wraps by late 2025, which it's going now, so I feel pretty confident in that. We can expect to see this in late 2026 or early 2027. A rough line from one report said that they are set to go into production this spring, meaning that it probably won't premiere until at least 2026. So buckle up, because we're probably going to be seeing a trailer and teasers. They should be hitting pretty soon. Now let's talk about the war, the alliances, the One Ring. All signs are pointing to a much darker, much grittier, visceral, war-focused story in Season 3, which I think is what everybody wants. We already know Season 2 ended with the elves, all of them vowing to fight Sauron in the north, and Numenor spiraling under new rule, so we're told Season 3 is going to throw us right into the thick of it. One recap says we'll see Sauron's rise in the making of the One Ring as kingdoms fight each other. In fact, official teasers explicitly say this installment takes place at the height of the War of the Elves and Sauron. So that means lots of battles. Expect massive elf armies clashing with Sauron's forces. Expect dwarves mourning Durin's death. The Balrog menace is still out there. Numenor, just say civil chaos under all of that happening. The Queen Every bit of it. This should be the most action-packed season that we probably get all together. And perhaps the biggest moment, which everybody wants to see on screen, is the forging of the One Ring. The reports say Sauron will now have all 9 rings from men, so it's going to be time to make the One Ring. We may actually see him in Anatarm form, tricking the Elven Smiths into helping with this project, just like he's already done. Filming footage even hinted a behind-the-scenes clip of actor Lloyd Owen wielding the sword that will signify the Númenóreans are preparing for war. And then you, of course, have Galadriel, Elrond. You have all of them forging alliances and possibly even pleading with Númenor for help against Sauron. There's other things to watch here. The dwarves rallying Khazad-dûm, I think I said that right. I mean, there's so many words here, it's hard for me to get them right. But we're going to have the Shadow of the Balrog. We're going to have Isildur's journey. He's got to go to the Southlands. Maybe he heads to Númenor. There's going to be so many different plot lines that we need to follow here. It is shaping up to be action-packed. So lots of sword and sorcery scenes, elf battles, orc sieges, maybe even a glimpse of Balrog. We'll see. I mean, we probably are going to see a lot more of Gandalf. He's going to find his place. He's training now. And we're going to see that legend go and grow because he's not the stranger anymore. He is, of course, now Gandalf. Now, that also doesn't go with official canon from Tolkien. I know that. He actually came in the Third Age in the books. And in this one, he's actually coming in the Second Age. I think I got that right. I may have it backwards, but I'll let you guys argue that out. The point is Gandalf's here, right? I mean, you know what? Let's talk about it. In the books, Gandalf doesn't arrive in Middle-earth until the Third Age, which is around 1000 TA. So he should honestly be nowhere during the Second Age, which is where we're at right now. But the showrunners, they did change it. At Season 2's end, spoiler alert, we saw the stranger, Daniel Wyman, awaken as Gandalf in the Second Age. Now, comicbook.com noted that in Tolkien's book, Gandalf doesn't even arrive in Middle-earth until the Third Age, while the Rings of Power takes place in the Second Age. So they're explaining the show has taken creative liberties with the timeline, since Amazon only had the rights to the Lord of the Rings text. So they inserted Gandalf early because the biggest reason here is because Gandalf is a showrunner. Gandalf pulls in people. Everybody loves Gandalf. So they're like, you know what? He doesn't show up till the Third Age. We can't really do anything with him in our entire show. Let's just change the plot. Let's change the context. I know, it's a major deviation. The showrunners justify it by saying that Tolkien's lore left room for him to visit earlier. But either way, this is a brand new backstory. Season 2 showed the stranger arriving via the mysterious portal with no memory, comet, whatever it was, learning magic among the Harfoots, and then finally remembering, I'm Gandalf. So how does that line up with the wise old wizard that we know? Well, writer and actor interviews say that we'll see Gandalf learn from mistakes. In fact, Daniel Wyman jokes that young Gandalf will do horrendous accidental things before actually becoming the wise Gandalf of the Grey that we know. So we should see him grow into the Gandalf of later ages at least a little bit as we go through Season 3. Now, this canon shift also means Season 3 has room to deepen Gandalf's arc. I mean, I'm assuming he's going to be more powerful after time, especially after this time jump we're going to get. Cinnamon Blend speculated with years leaping forward here. Maybe he's already harnessed his magical abilities by Season 3 start. Either way, the show needs to address how Gandalf evolves from having amnesia to being a legendary wizard. Maybe we see him training under elves or wizards. I mean, Saruman's out for now, so maybe none of the Istari are around yet, or facing the Witch King to earn wisdom. We don't know what they're going to do, but they're probably going to take creative liberties. I mean, that's how it's probably going to go. Fans are just debating on whether they like the fact that Gandalf is arriving in the Second Age at all. But we are going to get more of his backstory, and I do love me some Gandalf. Now, let's talk about some rumors out there. Take them with a grain of salt, if you will, but one is about Jamie Campbell's Bowers character. Earlier rumors had fans guessing he'd play Saruman or a blue wizard, but a recent report, Fellowship of Fans, is claiming he's actually Aryan, which is a codename for a leading book elf. Explicitly not any of the ones we know. It implies he might be Celeborn, who is Galadriel's husband, since he's an uncast high elf and he's on the list. I mean, who knows? Who knows where they're going to... It's a rumor, but we'll see what happens. And then the other one is the Dark Wizard from Season 2. Who is it? The actor Hines has been playing him, but we never got his name. So a lot of people think he's Saruman the White, which I think is a very obvious pick, or perhaps somebody else. The showrunners have not confirmed, but we do have the time jump. Saruman could theoretically have arrived in Middle-earth by now. In Tolkien's notes, he comes around TA 1000. So if Season 3 teases that or at least sets him up for later, I mean, he wasn't giving out universe rights on earlier seasons, but Season 3 jumping ahead years, they could. Once again, I go back to the phrase creative liberties. And if you've got Gandalf, you've eventually got to get Saruman the White in there as well. Now, there's other leaks out there talking about the elves in Eriador. They might seek help from Numenor in the war, which I think is a plausible alliance since the elves did save Numenorians in Tolkien's lore. So we might actually see the forging of additional elf mithril rings or the rise of local kings. Who knows? We have some internal elf politics going on. Now, there are people hoping that more of them show up from the books, but we don't know yet. Then we could also watch out for the origin story of the Nazgul. I mean, that would be really cool to see on screen as well. And then, of course, everybody asks about the hobbits. Hobbit side quest. Are we going to see anything to do with hobbits instead of Harfoots? I don't know, to be honest with you. I really don't. And the biggest thing for Season 3 is the challenge to win back fans. Season 2 ended on a cliffhanger for drama, but a lot of people, they were underwhelmed or critical of the show. Viewership tells that story. Samba TV reported Season 2's premiere drew only 902,000 U.S. households versus 1.8 million in Season 1's premiere. That is right at a 50% drop. And the total stream minutes in Season 2 was roughly half of Season 1. So yes, the buzz did fizzle out. And yes, Season 2 was very slow for the most part. It's the pacing issues. It's those filler quests. It's the major changes like Gandalf's early arrival or the female dwarf warriors as sticking points. The writers even admitted they didn't really listen to fan feedback on some of the story choices. How do you do that? How do you admit that? You can't do that. The fandom is what makes Lord of the Rings. It's the same with Star Wars. If you're not going to listen to fandom and the community and stick with canon, what are you doing and why are you allowed to do this? But here's the silver lining. Season 3 can right all the wrongs. They can address those criticisms head on. You can focus on the big central events from Tolkien's books. The Forging of the Ring, the Elvish and Numenorian alliances, Sauron's full reveal, and then the show could actually have a chance to deliver exactly on what I would call lore-hungry fans like myself want. And even better, the time jump. That means we don't have to sit through as much backstory this time. Instead of 2 seasons of build-up, Season 3 jumps into an epic war, which should bring some people back. Showrunner interviews suggest a more grittier tone, darker, rougher, like we said. And if they can nail those large-scale battles and honor the core mythos, I mean, give characters real payoffs. Galadriel versus Sauron Showdown, the true identity of the Dark Wizard. Then fans who felt the first seasons kind of meandered away, maybe they'll come back. I know it's not going to be easy. 5 seasons, that's where we're at. That's the long haul here in the audience. Well, they're watching, but maybe from afar. Season 3 does have the advantage of high stakes, and we do have some fan service that can be built in. If the writing can stay sharp, and the visual spectacle remains top tier like we got in the original Lord of the Rings, heck, even the Hobbit series, I think skeptics may give it another shot. I mean, we are heading into the beginning of the climax of the entire story, the One Ring saga. So yes, they do have a chance to redeem themselves for the earlier missteps. Whether they do or not, who knows? So there you have it, my friends. I'm all in. And I'm always of the premise when it comes to Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, anything like that, Marvel, regardless if it's at a low or at a high for me, I'm going to digest whatever they give me because I'm a fan of those universes. So yes, I will be there ready for Rings of Power Season 3. Let me know if you are. Let me know what you want. Let me know what you're worried about. And I'll see you soon.